Welcome to Black People Love Paramore podcast, where we chat about the seemingly random things large groups of Black people go up for. I am your co-host, Sequoia.
And I'm Jordan.
And today we are chatting about WWE/WWF. I don't really know the difference. I'm hoping Jordan knows the difference and can explain it to me. But before we get into the main shit of the episode, in my defense, I have it in my defense this week, and it is on theme. This episode will come out, I think, on Thanksgiving Day. And so, I had a Thanksgiving theme in my defense. So over the weekend, I went to my first white Friendsgiving. And at said white Friendsgiving, we had to each bring a dish, right? So naturally, I bring cornbread because, as Negroes do, cornbread, a staple. It goes with everything. You can sop up all types of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
With sweet starch. I love cornbread. I don't know if the whites had ever had cornbread, but it was there. Someone brought what I'm told is a white Thanksgiving staple, green bean casserole.
Who now? What in the world?
I had that.
A green bean casserole.
Yeah.
I'm Googling this. I've never even heard of that.
Stop it, Jordan. Stop it. I had never had any food with casserole in the name because Black people don't cook that. And most of the foods that I consume are prepared by Black people unless they are, or an ethnic person to some degree. And other, that's a white thing. And so I had the green bean casserole. I put it on my plate. And I have to say, I had a good time with my green bean casserole.
Interesting.
It had cream of mushroom in it. I love cream of mushroom. That's my girl. If you're not cooking with cream of mushroom, you're not cooking right. And it had little mushroom bits in it and like a little crispy onions on top.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
And it was solid. I was like, oh, this is what y'all be talking about. This is what y'all be talking about.
The Google images are appetizing.
The Google images are on par too. And I have a white roommate. She always talking about a green bean casserole for Thanksgiving. And every time she said, I side-eye her a little bit because I'm like, y'all really eat stuff with casserole.
Yeah, that sounds like a Paula Deen episode.
It sounds like Paula Deen, like it's giving extremely nigger in Thanksgiving. I don't want nigger in my Thanksgiving foods. I simply don't.
Not a hard R,
But I had it. That's what it was giving. And so I had it and it was good. It was a very solid dish. And I understand why you all consume it and enjoy it at Thanksgiving. I also had Trader Joe's turkey breast.
Whoa.
It was already cooked.
You were going out on some limbs. Wow.
And it comes in a sealed Ziploc.
Oh, wait, reverse. Slide to the left. It's a pre-cooked turkey breast that comes in plastic.
Yes, it's a pre-cooked turkey breast that comes in a plastic sealed bag to keep the moisture and the juices in.
Gosh.
And you just pop it in the oven for a little bit longer just to warm it up. And
who brought that?
It was good. I have to say it was good. I don't know who brought it. I really don't. But it was good.
Wild for that.
And it had a little gravy on it.
It's a whole what you call it, potluck, and you bring a pre-cooked thing in some plastic. The boldness of that.
Yeah, they brought it. And lastly, I had stuffing for the first time. So apparently there's a difference between stuffing and dressing, right?
Enlighten me.
So dressing is what I normally have. And that's the Black people version, I guess, that doesn't actually belong in the turkey. Like, I guess white people stuff the turkeys.
Right. Hence
with something.
Stuffing. Yes.
And so I had that for the first time. And it tasted similar to dressing. It tasted very similar to dressing, except it was full like big pieces of bread and they were very dry, but it was solid. It was solid.
Wow, this was a big weekend for you. I think I have had both dressing and stuffing now that you say that. I wouldn't have been able to make a distinction, but now I think I see it. So wow, you really made out the other end and your stomach was fine. No type of bubble guts afterward. No, so
there was no bubbly guts afterwards. There was nothing of that sort. It was, dare I say, delicious experience.
Wow, Sequoia.
Now, I will say I was a little, they put my cornbread off to the corner and they only ate half the pan of it. And I said,
okay, we talk about racial progress in this country.
I don't know. Right. We don't talk about racial projects in the country and y'all putting the Negro
Off
food
to the
off in the corner
side. You're like
and
you're
only eating half
politely
of it
eating a bite and be like,
and
"Ooh, it's so
asking what it
good. What is
is.
this?
You know what I mean? Right? Nom,
Yeah,
nom, nom,
oh,
nom, nom,
this is
nom, nom. I guess that's
amazing."
that's flavorful. Lots of flavor in that one there. What's
Yeah,
that? They didn't know what it was. They were like, "What's that?" And it was like cornbread. And they're like,
you
"Oh."
don't
And apparently white
say.
people have cornbread too, but they put corn in it. Apparently they put actual pieces of corn in it, and
You don't do it that way.
it's just a lot. No, 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 no. I mean, to be fair, I made it from the box. I made it
Which
from
is great.
Jiffy.
The Jiffy is incredible, you know.
Right. It was incredible. It tasted good to me. It was really good. So that was my experience. That was my weekend. In my defense, green bean casserole low-key slaps. A little bit. Don't quote me on that. I'll deny I ever said it. If you play this back, I'll swear it's not my voice. And so, yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's a great one. I feel like, I'm ready to, explore some new boundaries, food wise. Thanks to that.
Expose yourself to the wild side. What's that Normani said? Take me for a ride. Yeah. Wild side.
I like that. I have it in my defense this week, actually. And it might come as a surprise. I feel like,
Okay.
I might get some flack, in the comments. Panama might be up in arms after hearing this, but I actually this week I would like to say in my defense, visiting the Apple Store. Okay, now I know you guys are probably gasping, stopping the car, pulling over, pulling the parking brake, whatever. But listen to me. So prior to getting on this call with Sequoia, and recording this lovely show and thanks to Dentite, I was having experienced computer issues. My laptop I'm recording this on is a 2011 MacBook, which is why MacBook Air, which is why, of course we need sponsorship because, it's these are dark times. But I'm fortunate enough to be able to upgrade my laptop this week. And I went into the Brooklyn Apple Store. And it just was a lovely experience. Typically I'll have to wait in a line. You gotta make a little appointment on the thing. I just walked in, walked out with what I needed. I had ordered the laptop online, and you literally just pick it up from somewhere. You show them a little QR code. They're so nice. The gentleman who checked me out was like handling me and this other group simultaneously, and he had the savvy to see that the people who were next to me were, I think, tourists from somewhere, Spanish speaking country. Flips immediately into Spanish, makes them feel welcome. He's making me feel welcome. I'm being handled. It was a great smooth experience. And the haters are gonna listen to this and say, "Here's Jordan shilling for another big corporation. Jordan's in the pocket of big tech. Classic Jordan just loving big tech." It's not that. I like a nice consumer experience, and if it can be provided, I'll take it wherever it comes. Take it wherever. It could be TJ Maxx, it could be TGI Fridays for all I care, buddy. But if I'm being treated well, that's all that matters. So in my defense, the Apple Store. Go to the Apple Store.
In your defense, Steve Jobs is the greatest of all time.
Defense,
essentially, is what you're saying.
Steve Jobs would have finished all the cornbread. Okay.
Okay. Oh, Steve Jobs. I know he would have. I know it.
Steve Jobs is good everywhere, bro.
Wow. He can Millie Rock on any block, and he is good in any hood. That's crazy. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Walking people down in those New Balances, Steve Jobs. He was heavy stepper, so may he rest in peace.
Heavy stepper, big shoes, big dreams,
big Steve,
big
Apple, Big Mac,
Big Steve in the big.
Big Steve with the Big Mac, bro.
Very much. Oh, yes, absolutely. He got the big stick in his pocket too. Anyways. Okay, we'll take that you are officially a capitalist and that you love capitalism and that Apple and Big Tech are now, the brands that you go up for. That's your
sponsored by
rep.
Meta.
You rep
Thank
that.
you.
Right. Very much sponsored by Meta. Right. Okay. We'll take that. I am happy that you had a wonderful experience in the Big Apple at the Mac store with a very multicultural experience. It sounds like. It sounds like very representative of New York City. You know, I love that for you. I'm happy about that, truly. Okay. I want to talk about a song this week, too, that I forgot about and that popped back up on my playlist recently. And I was like, wow, I used to love this song. I still love this song now that I heard it again. Do you remember a girl group named Dream?
No.
Okay. They had this song called He Loves You Not. And they were, I think, 5 girls, and they were a Diddy group, so naturally they were very fucked over in the end.
So 5 disenfranchised laborers.
I think they were white. It was like 5 white girls, or at least none of them were black, but like 5 girls. They had a popping little single, He Loves Me, He Loves You Not. And it was great. Wow. It was a great single.
Was this a product of some sort of making in the band? How did this happen?
Now, I'm not positive if there was a show attached to it. I don't know. Something inside me thinks there was, but I can't put any details to it at all. So there may not have been. But, 5 girls. Diddy kept, oh my God. All of them were like skinny white girls, except for one of them. One of them was maybe a size 6 or an 8. Whereas the other ones were like 0 and 2s. And Diddy kept her body covered. Let me tell you the way Diddy kept her. And
this is wild, Sequoia. I didn't know about any of this. Menace. This is Diddy's so wild for this. This is just
he was a menace.
Just a white girl group from 2001 that is signed to Bad Boy.
Yes.
Diddy literally did not say.
And they were dropping fucking heat.
The first album went platinum. It was all a dream. 2001 it went platinum. How have I never heard of this? What is this?
Yeah. I don't know how you never heard of them. I really don't know how you never heard of them. But they came out at like peak girl group time. Like they were peak girl group time. And so Diddy was trying to cash in on his girl group moment.
He was like, let me cash in. Diddy is say what you will about that man, but he is a shrewd businessman. He knows where to put his money.
A shrewd businessman and a menace. I'll tell you that. Menace. So God. So yeah, they had that wonderful song, He Loves You Not. If y'all have not heard that song, please go listen to Dream. Wow. He Loves You Not. It is a wonderful, very early 2000s, late 90s sounding song. Like it has that very digital pop, great little hip hop infused sound. Love it.
He Loves You Not released September 5th, 2000. Okay. What an incredible time to be alive. What do you remember where you were September 5th, 2000?
September 5th, 2000. I was probably on the blacktop of my private school before I transferred to public school. With my little white boy bae. His name was Robbie. Hey, Robbie. If you're, listening to that, hey, Robbie. He would go get my backpack every day when my mom was picking me up. He would go find my backpack and bring it to me.
Not your white footman.
What's that the city girls say? The city girls say, first you take his money, then you dip on
that
niggas.
Was you?
Yeah.
In 2000?
I was already learning that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So... So yeah, shout out Robbie if you listen to this. You are more than welcome to be my white footsman whenever you feel Robbie, the need to be that.
Go run that He Loves You Not one time and think of Sequoia, okay?
Run it up one time for the one time because a great song. Think about what you missed out on when you were 5. Think about that.
I'm screaming because I'm looking at the single covers for some of these songs that they have, and you're right, there is one member that is conspicuously just covered up from like neck to ankle. And the others are
it's so crazy.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Diddy, what a menace.
He was a menace. He was very much a menace. And because you remember on Making the Band, Diddy used to tell, I remember Diddy telling D Woods from Danity Kane. Did you watch that season of Making the Band?
I can't remember it though, but I remember Danity Kane and I remember Making the Band. Yeah.
Okay. So D Woods and Dawn were the 2 black girls and
right. Would go on Kane. To be in Dirty Money.
And exactly. And Dawn, I don't know if is D Woods in Dirty Money?
It might just be Dawn. You're right.
I know Dawn is. I think it's just Dawn, but He used to be telling Dawn that she was fat all of
Oh
the
no.
time. He used to be telling her to lose weight, like you're never going to be able to make it because you just won't lose weight. And like she was just built like any regular black
Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
curvier body, bigger lower half, whatever. Oh my God, this
The psychological
man.
warfare that some of these women in particular obviously went through in these like 2000s competition shows, like people were talking about. I remember watching, like, I grew up in a house with my mom and my sister, and like I watched a lot of these shows. I remember watching like early, like Tyra, what was it, the America's Next Top Model, and people are saying that was recently released on Netflix.
Yeah.
And like people are going back, and some of these episodes are like
Yes.
so heinous to watch, like you can't even. It's just like a wild what was permissible back then, and like what people like Diddy got away with.
It was crazy. Diddy, Tyra had bitches in blackface, just doing all types of wild shit. It was just
See, that's funny. That's still funny. That's still funny.
Talking about taking the whitest girl. It was funny. It was funny. Taking the whitest girl on the show, talking about, we're going to transform you into a Nubian goddess
my
queen.
Gosh.
And then the next frame, she's getting painted.
Lord.
Like getting painted black.
On
This
WB,
painted
no
black,
less.
getting oh my God.
Yeah,
Getting
UPN.
on UPN, right. Channel 13, I couldn't. I
Right.
literally could not.
That's,
So
something else.
yeah, the competition shows were wild. Diddy was absolutely out of his rabbit ass mind, and Dream deserved so much more than they got. They had great songs. I think All Them Girls is poor now. There's no way you should have a platinum album and be poor. So,
and they were selling real albums. It was 2000, 2001. They were selling like actual CDs.
mm-hmm. It was harder to go platinum then, and they still went platinum.
That
They were
album
big.
came out on January 23rd, 2001. You know what's significant about that day?
January 23rd. That's your birthday?
It was my 6th birthday. And no one
Hey,
got me
that
the
was your
Dream
6th
album.
birthday.
That's so crazy.
And no one got you the Dream album. Oh my God, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
this is actually kinda
I'll
sad
make that up
now.
this
It's
year
just
for your
like,
birthday.
Thank you.
I'll make this
Thank
up this
you.
year for your birthday. Yeah, don't worry. You'll definitely receive the Dream hard physical album for your birthday.
And thank you so much.
You're welcome. So yeah, that's my song. Jordan, do you have a song that you feel reminiscent about, that you like? Did you listen to Adele?
Adele, I haven't listened to the new Adele yet, but I'm sure it's fantastic. I think she's one of the more stunning and exciting and innovative artists working right now, and I think that's one of the things that like we need to talk about more. I don't know
why you're doing that accent. You have to do a Caribbean accent. Adele, you remember when she had
Lewiston, Carter, Barrington Levy, the third. One of the most.
Remember when she was dressed for Carnival and she had them damn braids?
Oh, when she had the little Bantu nuts. That was really funny.
You have to give her Caribbean heritage, the nod that it deserves.
Yeah, I mean, she's dating LeBron's manager now. Do you know that? She's dating what's his name, Rich Paul. Mm-hmm. So clearly he saw her little West Indian vibe. And he was like, Ma, let's go down to Aki Bamboo and Lemert. Let's get a little curry goat, rice and peas, a little plantain on the side.
He said Adele is a ting.
He said Adele's a ting.
Yes, I want that.
Adele goes to Adele walks down Brixton and they have it's like a ticker tape parade. It's all the Jamaicans come out. They're throwing Aki plants at her. little Dr. Birds come and pick up her pigtails like she's Snow White. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's
pick up her pigtails.
If Adele were to show up in Portland tomorrow, Portland, Jamaica, like she just showed up in Port Antonio randomly, it would be a whole carnival. It'd be like people
mayhem. They're definitely throwing an Adele carnival.
It'll be like Independence Day. It would just be like crazy. Like she's the for all intents and purposes the queen of Jamaica, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, behind Celine Dion.
Behind only Celine Dion. Did you hear that she kind of Adele's occupies such an interesting like space in pop culture because she's like a leftover from like the CD era too. Like she popped off what in like 2010 or 2009 or something like that. And she's like one of those artists that can like sell out CDs in Target, still like 65-year-olds are still gonna go and cop an Adele CD. Because she's such a 60s, like classic singer, piano, jazz, that sort of thing. And she's like, but also she's like memed to death and she's like beloved by younger people.
Yes, that she does occupy such an interesting space.
And I feel like she's one of the few people who like can get away with stuff. Like she doesn't do interviews like that anymore. Even though like I guess for this promotion of this new album, I've seen her doing a lot more stuff. But she did like she was doing some interview. I was like the one guy in Australia who got to interview her in person or something like that. And he flew. Do you hear about this? He flew to London to talk to her, and he got there and he hadn't listened to the album. Yes,
Stop it.
he's like the one person from Australia that has got to like a FaceTime with her, and he like came with his camera crew, whatever. Had not bothered to open the link in his goddamn email and listen to the album. She realized that partway through the interview and just stopped. And she's like, "We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not." That's so disrespectful. I hope he lost his damn job. You have one job. Like
To
stop.
go up to Miss Adele Paddington Levy III and not have listened to the album.
You went to fucking you.
Oh my
No,
gosh!
no.
You expect to sit down and sip sorrel in her face.
After this, after Adele has divulged her whole traumatic divorce on this, I haven't listened to the album because I can't. I'm scared.
Yeah, she does. She makes that kind of.
Ryan texts me all in his feelings. Ryan was texting me all in his feelings while he was listening to this album. He was like, yeah, I'm just, and I said, oh no, I won't be listening to this
music
anytime soon. I need a second.
It's bag music for sure.
Yeah.
And if you like to stay out of your bag, maybe stay out of this album. I think that's
Just for a second. Yeah. I'll circle back. I need a second. Also, Adele, where's the Christmas album? I would love a Christmas album from you. Where you
that
at
would be
Michael Bublé put one out.
Just writing a check, man. Like, for she do a Christmas album, which I feel like is a testament to her, like not actually like being in it for that sort of thing, because like she could do that every year and just be chilling,
right
by her little castle.
100%. She could just give us one good Christmas album. Mariah Carey might not be the queen of Christmas no more after that. I don't know.
She might have some competition if Adele put out a Christmas album.
She just might.
So I know I haven't listened to the new Adele. The only song I really have is I was watching this movie called The Souvenir, which my sister hated. So last week I was in Sequoia. I was in Savannah, Georgia for my mom's birthday. Shout out my mom, big 6-0.
Hey, that is a big one.
My mom made it, and 26 of those years she had to deal with me. So that's kind of crazy, if you think about it. But anyway, oh yeah, so I was watching, trying to, you rarely spend all, family time all together like that. And so, when you're all together with the family, find family and group entertainment, whatever. My mom, she's not fooling anybody more. She by like 8, she's like, I'm going to bed. Like by like 9, she's like, y'all have fun. I'm knocking out. But my sister and I were trying to watch a movie together, and I watched this movie. I've been hearing a lot about this movie, The Souvenir. I don't know if you've heard about this movie. The Souvenir Part 2 is out in theaters now. It's like some like A24 art house film by this woman named Johanna Hogg.
That's enough. A24 is all you have to say. Yep.
But it's a lovely film. I like it. It's about, this girl in the 80s and who's an art student who has a tumultuous love affair with a person she discovers is a heroin addict. And, as you can imagine, that's a lot. But there's part of it, where they have an amazing song cue where, it's just this like, goody two shoes girl from a wealthy background dating this heroin addict. And they have a song cue in the song that's Is She Really Going Out With Him by Joe Jackson, who's like British artist from the 70s. It's like, is she really going out?
I think I've heard that song.
Yeah, that song is great. And it just was used so well in the movie. And like, I threw it on the Spotify likes, and I've been listening to it more recently. It's just a great song, a little feel good white bop. We should start a playlist called Feel Good White Bops. That's because that would be on there.
Feel Good White Bops, 100%.
So that's all I got for you guys.
Yeah, okay. Jordan trying to put y'all on. So Joe Jackson, make sure you look for the right Joe Jackson. Yeah, make sure you're looking for the right Joe Jackson.
Michael's dad. It's from the album Look Sharp with an exclamation point.
I love punctuation on an album.
Yeah, more people should do that. Add some dynamics.
They really should. Or like stylized. Yeah. Like Ariana does all her titles lowercase. I love
that annoys me because I know
choice or a punctuation.
I know she's like saying it. She's like saying it through her like long sleeves. She's like covering her mouth as she says it. Sugar. What are this album called? Sugar. What's that one called? Sweetener.
Sweetener. I'm done. I'm done. Not sugar.
Like sugar, sweetener, sweetener.
I literally didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. I'm like, sugar? Are you thinking Harry Styles? Watermelon sugar high? What? Wow. Okay. Real quick, I just did my friend Tiffany's podcast. Her podcast is called I Can't Stress This Enough, in case y'all want to check it out. But she asked me, what do I think is going to be on my Spotify rap this year? And I thought that was an interesting question. Jordan, what do you think is going to be on your Spotify rap this year? Devastating
question, because I always feel like called out by that thing. I try not to look at it, but what's going to be on there? Oh man.
What have you had in rotation this year? What you been on?
What have I been on? It's been a whirlwind. So I've been ever since I may have mentioned here once this podcast once before that I got like into records last year in the pandemic. That was my little pandemic thing. I like got up stereo. I found the speakers. I did a whole thing. So I listen to a lot of stuff not on Spotify these days. But like when I do go to Spotify for very specific reasons. Oh, you know what's going to be on there? And that, I know that sounds so pretentious or whatever, but that's just the truth. I'm just trying to be honest with you people. But you know what's really going to be on there? They put Aaliyah on Spotify this year. Have you been listening to Aaliyah on Spotify?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
The self-titled one, Aaliyah from 2001, the Red album.
The Red one?
It's so good. I love on there. I love It's Whatever. And I love Read Between the Lines and Loose Rap. And then I've been killing recently from the One in a Million album. I've been killing Heartbroken. Oh man, that one is so good.
I don't know if I know that.
I'll send you that. It's so good.
But it's been smashing.
Heartbroken by Aaliyah is incredible. And yeah, it's just that's what I've been killing a lot of, because those albums I'd never listened to before, because you know they've never been on Spotify, and I'm a mere 26 years old.
They weren't available. Yeah. I feel like we should probably do an episode. Let's revisit what is actually on the Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year. Maybe that could be the end of the year episode.
That could be.
We can close out the year that way.
I feel comfortable disclosing. Maybe I'll just lie. It was all iceware bezel, the whole thing, all little baby, because I'm an entrepreneur, right. So like I got out the mud like Lil Baby, so I listen to a lot of Lil Baby. Yeah, you feel me? Roddy Ricch, a lot of Dirk on here. Actually, it's like mostly Dirk.
A lot of Dirk.
You feel me?
It is a lot of Lil
Dirk. Pop Smoke, of course. Pop Smoke, of course.
Of course. R.I.P. Of course.
Can't say pop without the smoke. You feel me? So
period. You feel me? It's not like you smoking a blunt.
I was stuck in my nostrils.
Yeah, you can't say pop without it. Right?
A lot of thug, a lot of gunner. You feel me? So
right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I believe that for you. I really do. I already know mine's gonna try to embarrass me. I know mine's gonna try to embarrass me. Somehow J. Cole be ended up on my shit. And I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I am stop laughing.
The way the disgust in your voice, somehow J. Cole be ended up on my shit.
I swear. Because I am a vocal anti J. Cole person. And somehow he just be making his way into all of my public facing things. And I really abhor that for myself, because it's a fucking lie. And Spotify I'm going to sue you for defamation of character. One of these times I'm going to sue you for defamation of character, because you're absolutely lying on me, and I just don't appreciate it. And you won't continue to do it. You won't continue to get away with it.
Yeah, no, it's not Scooby-Doo. You know, it's not Scooby-Doo. We will catch you meddling people. We
will. You won't get away with it if it were for the meddling kids. You just won't get away with it.
You know what? But let's get Dr. Umar for a second. Why are we as a people celebrating a company that's tracking our moves, that is tracking what we like and how we consume and what we're listening to, and sharing it as if that's a good thing, that they're tracking us, that they're following us, that they're telling us we're watching. That's what they're doing, right? They're saying, I see what you're doing, and I'm basically in your house. How do you feel about that? And we're celebrating that. They're the overseer, if you think about it. They're tending, to us, the content slaves, okay? So I just want y'all to maybe chew on that. Chew on that.
Is that you? Wow.
Chew on that, all right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's all I'm going to say. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. And you said enough. And you said enough. Okay, you definitely hit the nail on the head with that one.
This podcast is about opening people's minds.
And I
know, not closing their eyes, open their
Third
minds. You know what
eyes.
I'm saying? So, if you get anything from this podcast, get some healthy skepticism. Sponsored by Dentite.
Get some enlightenment. Right.
Overstand,
Overstand.
like my overbite that was corrected by Dentite. Thank you.
Thank you to our sponsor, Dentite. Yeah, okay. Now, let's move on to another large corporate conglomerate that is primarily white people. WWE, WWF. First of all, Jordan, I have a question. What the fuck does WWE and WWF stand for? Worldwide Wrestling.
Okay. We're going to the internet to confirm this. I don't want to be disseminating lies, but I can explain the story and why there are two names. So WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated, formerly known as WWF, World Wrestling Federation. And the reason it changed its name is because in the early 2000s, I believe there was some sort of conflict with the other WWF, the World Wildlife Foundation. I don't know if legal action was taken or if it was just a thing where like, this is bad branding, we're confusing, and they switched to WWE. Yes, WWE is a company that's based in Connecticut, actually, the land of my birth.
Oh, okay. And you're from what city in
New Haven,
Connecticut?
baby. You already know what it is.
Are you from New Haven?
I grew up in the town line in Hamden, but my dad lives in New Haven, and so I kind of grew up. I went to school in New Haven.
Okay, okay. We were talking to somebody.
You were talking to somebody from New Haven?
We were talking to somebody from Connecticut, and me and Ryan. I mean, we were like, "Oh yeah, we know somebody from Connecticut. Do you know them?" And they were like, "Where in Connecticut are they from?" And we were like, New Haven, we want to say, but I was like, nah, I know his college was in New Haven, but I don't know if he is from New Haven. But
no, I'm like I grew up 5 minutes away from where I went to college.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Look, now we learning things. But yeah, so we found your Connecticut buddy, essentially. We found your friend in Connecticut. Yeah.
All right, so now you just need to identify him for me so I can kill him.
Right. There can only be one.
There can only be one. But the WWE, yes, we're gonna back to WWE. We were trying to figure out why it holds the place it does in the minds, hearts of many a Black youth, and it's hard to pinpoint. But what I will say is, in the early 2000s, a few things loomed as large in my like childhood entertainment sphere as WWE. The Rock, Rey Mysterio, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, these were all names that we were, like throwing around. They were like up there with like our big sports stars. Like, the harder I thought about it, the more I realized it's just like little kid soap opera. Like, I think it was a way for,
Wow.
It was like soap opera branded for little boys in a way, right? It was a way for us to like get into like the theatrical character building. The model of play that you see on WWE is exactly, and I don't know if it's chicken or the egg, but like it's exactly how you see little kids express, like little boys express play when they're playing. They're like, like oftentimes I have a friend who was like teaches kids like reading and stuff like that, and like helps them writing, and like she's like first graders, second graders, and like often she'll find that the girls are way more imaginative with their stories. So like there was an eagle that flew down and built a nest and raised a family, and then there was a storm and it had to protect. They're like really elaborate. They're like there's like there's all these like story things in it, and then the boys will be like, there was a giant shark monster and I fought him and then we became friends and we both beat up everybody. And like, That's essentially what WWE is. What are the scariest, most like masculine, like one of the main figures from when I was watching WWE in the early 2000s and mid 2000s was The Undertaker, who was like a damn near 7 foot tall demon, man who like would pop out of the dark and just appear in the middle of the ring, and choke slam people. And all the stories were so like, one guy would be good one week and then the next week he's bad. So that meant he's wearing like sunglasses and a black leather jacket. You know, like
Oh,
everything was
obviously.
underlined and it was so cartoonish. And I feel like that's just like junk food to a child, especially a little
That's
boy.
fair. It's like anime reminiscent, like you were saying. It's like the same appeal.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And why? I mean, I think a lot of little boys, not just black boys, were into wrestling, and I imagine they still are because wrestling's still happening. I don't really know what's the deal. I feel like every now and then I'll be watching cable and I'll see a commercial for a new. It'll be like AEW, and I'm like, what is that?
What is
Like they're like
that?
different. They're different like federations now with different characters. But back in the day, yeah, back in the day was so funny because also they would incorporate people's like ethnic heritage or race in such funny, ridiculous,
They
now probably
would?
unproblematic, probably problematic ways. Yeah, I remember there was like one guy, Carlito, if I'm reading correctly, who just like his whole thing was like he was like Mexican, I think, and he like ate an apple. Like he would come out and they play like little Mexican music and he'd eat an apple. Um
Oh
no, it
no.
was all sorts of funny, but I can't really quite put my finger on it other than to say that it's like, little boy, little classic little boy drama, little boy soap operas.
Right. It's like fighting and you think that shit is real and it's like,
Right.
yeah, look at
Right.
that. That's
Stage
so
violence.
fun. Like, uh-huh. Stage violence. I swear my brother was always trying to, mind you, my brother's 11 years older than me, so
Mm.
he would like, I don't want to say throw me around like a bad way, but like physically toss my body like up in the air because I was a child and he was
Yeah.
older. So he would be practicing these fucking wrestling
I'm
moves on
dead.
me
Yeah.
because he could toss me around. So yeah, that's the extent of my knowledge for wrestling. Well, you know what? I had my first kiss with a boy over a wrestling match. Not over,
Hmm.
like while a wrestling match is in the background. So that's about all I know about it. And it was always wrestling had an underlying layer of sexual tension to it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's
That was
so overly
odd.
sexualized. Yeah. And homoerotic too. Yeah, like in a odd way too.
Yes.
Like the
Yes.
outfits are so skimpy and they're always
Mm-hmm.
like getting in each
Lots
other's
of dick.
faces.
Always with the balls in the face. Like it was like a
Yeah.
disrespectful but low-key also homoerotic thing. Like I'm like, okay.
There'll always be these long like spoken interludes where like they come out and basically like, tell you exactly who they were. They'd be like, I challenge you, Undertaker, because I'm the good guy and you're not gonna get away with this, blah 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 blah. And they like get in each other's faces and they just stare like for like 10 minutes like, oh, and then be like, oh my
Literally,
god,
right,
what's
right.
gonna happen?
Right, right.
I've heard recently is that like a lot of comedians in New York because I like we said WWE is based in Connecticut outside New York. A lot of like comedians that's like become a kind of common job like writing for WWE, which I would
Really?
love to do. Yeah, yeah. Apparently that's the thing that a lot of
Oh
like
my
Brooklyn
gosh.
comedians have done or like New York comedians have done. Because yeah, it's
Wow.
spoiler
That
alert,
does sound
it's
fun.
scripted. So that was the other thing. Like I feel like
Oh yeah?
that was a big tension for like little kids was like it's real and they'd be like and then people be like no it's
Yeah.
not real like no it's real he really
Yeah.
The Rock really is the
It really
champion he
was.
hates Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's like no, these guys were like highly trained,
Right.
like it was like more dancing and theater.
Stunt
Yeah,
people.
yeah, they're
Right,
stunt people.
right. They were like
um
stunt doubles. Yeah, that was it. Okay, I only know a couple wrestlers. The Rock was a wrestler, right?
yeah, The Rock was a
Okay,
wrestler.
what about Vin Diesel? Was Vin Diesel a wrestler?
Vin Diesel's not a wrestler, but he talks like a wrestler. The Rock
Okay.
went to middle school in Hamden, Connecticut, where I'm from, for like a year.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is you could probably beat The Rock's ass, is what you
Yeah,
think.
to
You
bring it
said
all
you think
back,
you could beat his ass.
essentially, like in so many words, yes, probably murder The Rock with my hands if I wanted to.
Your bare hands if you wanted
If
to,
I
like it
wanted
would
to.
take very
Of course,
much
I wouldn't choose to
not
do
much
that.
from you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would be more of like my 70% would probably, be enough.
Okay. I also have a list of Ric Flair references because he's one of the very few that I know, and I only know him
Yes.
because of how often he is referenced in rap music specifically. So I don't like Kanye West, Chief Keef, Pusha T, Big Sean, Jadakiss.
Whew, a classic.
That's rare, nigga. Woo! Ric Flair, nigga. You know, that's one. We have the natural Ric Flair drip by Offset and Metro Boomin. Ric Flair drip go woo on a bitch. Okay, so I'm assuming that was his sound. He said woo.
Yes, he said woo. Yeah.
Okay, he says woo like that. Okay, New God Flow again. Kanye West, Pusha T, Ghostface Killer. Shake that body, party that bod. Ric Flair, nigga, as an ad lib. We have Switch Lanes by Tyga. Niggas see it in the light though. Woo, Ric Flair. Okay. We have another. Okay, Kanye likes Ric Flair. We have another one. Kids See Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his man's. We have another one. Pusha T, Ric Flair before they was Rich Flair before they was Ric Flairs. Wow, another Migos one. The list goes on. I'm skipping the ones I don't know, but I'm sure other people know these. Meek Mill has one. Iggy Azalea has one.
A Ric Flair reference?
Stunting Ric Flair on you. That's what she says.
She did not write that. She has no idea who that is.
She did write that.
Somebody else wrote that.
She did write that. Nope.
No, she wrote it?
Nope, she wrote that.
Okay, she wrote it. Never mind.
Yeah. No, I don't know what that. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. Who writes Iggy Azalea's things? I don't know that girl. But yeah, it looks like Ric Flair might be one of the most noted and referenced wrestlers from rap culture, it appears.
Yeah, we were talking about this right before we started recording, like how a lot of the themes that we keep like coming on, like stumbling into when we talk about why Black people, a certain set of Black people seem to like get out into these sort of things, and it comes back down to oftentimes like a sense of like performance, in a sense of like peacocking that like Black people have an affinity for. And Ric Flair is like an all-time peacock. Like his costumes when he was wrestling often incorporated literal feathers, and his whole thing was like he just like is this ostentatious like braggadocious pretty boy who like wore cool jewelry and like just talked mad shit and was like kind of just like a don,
a rapper.
Yeah, he's a rapper. He was a rapper, like he was a rapper before there was rappers, and that's why rappers identify with him so much, I imagine. And yeah, like I think there's definitely a parallel to be drawn between the way rappers perform their own personalities and function in the pop culture space to the way that wrestlers do in their own space, and like build these kind of like slightly larger than real life like versions of themselves to like act out in the like entertainment sphere for people. It's all like really savvy branding and like and story building that they're engaging in. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, there's actually a lot of parallels in the way that when you think about it. And so of course they'd be into that. And then like right before we got in, we're talking about how the most recent one I can think of is from Playboi Carti's seminal album, Whole Lotta Red, from last year. On the song Over, he says, I jump off the rope like Ed Hardy. But he says, I jump off the rope like Ed Hardy, which is like a 2000s, WWE wrestler who was known for his high flying acrobatics. He jumping off the top rope, like flipping onto people and stuff like that. So Cardi was in there being hit with his bad self, eating, Captain Crunch at 9 p.m., watching this stuff too. So this is something that runs deep, that a lot of people say, share.
I distinctly remember like lots of butt cheeks, like lots of the punchline, for lack of a better word, be like putting somebody's head between your butt cheeks.
Yo, you're so right. I forgot about that until you literally just said that. Yeah, that was a thing that happened often. Because it was
so weird.
It was so weird. And like the thing that like they kind of tiptoe around is that it was like this weird male erotic space. Like they put him in those outfits and they greased him up for real. They shaved them, they greased them up, and they put him in those outfits for a reason. Even though it's like a lot of like men watching this thing nominally, there's like a clear homoeroticism happening that like goes kind of like only indirectly like referred to, like pointed at, like gags where they put people's legs between their thighs, like you said, like yeah, there's lots of like weird. And with the women, like like the divas, WWE divas they were called, I remember, like they would like they were more explicit about that, but like with the men it was like less was less,
Right. Right. This is not
it's just
homoerotic. This is fighting.
he's just
This
a
is
gladiator, like it's like, yeah, well, why the
okay.
gladiator have to be
Yeah.
in a thong?
Why is he in a thong? Why am I looking at man cheeks? Why am I looking at the whole butt cheek?
Truly.
Why is he greased?
So, America's a repressed place and they need their outlets.
It is. I'm like, come on, just get your sexual fantasies off. Just get your sexual fantasies off. I wonder how many people the WWE, WWF was their sexual awakening. I wonder how many people were like, huh.
Probably more than a few. Yeah.
Probably. I do remember sometimes the men and the women like fighting together. I don't know how super often that happened, but I do remember like seeing that happen sometimes. And though that would be overtly sexual, just like the whole shit was just mad sexual. I don't know what the problem was.
Yeah, because it was made.
And it was supposed to be for kids. Like that shit obviously wasn't for adults.
It was for but it was for adults too. It was for like 30-year-old nerds and like 11-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the type of person who would still be into a comic books like past a certain age. I feel like there's somebody who might be attracted to wrestling because it's like, this
attracted to it.
Yeah, because like it's like this like type of storytelling that is like so obviously like, the artifice is obvious and like it's so artificial, but you don't care because it's like big colors and you're just in it for why you're in it and you don't really care. Or you're just 10 and this is the first time you're seeing boobies, you know what I mean?
I think that was it. I think it was really like, whoa, is that a girl with a bathing suit?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
On?
I forgot. Yeah, that always felt so like bad. I always felt like I was like against the rules whenever, especially with the divas. Yeah, dirty. I felt dirty.
Like it was dirty. Yes. like that's how it felt to watch like some of those animes too. Like it was giving very hentai, less anime, more hentai. I don't know.
Man. To be 9 and ashamed again. Yeah.
What a time. Right. And to be ashamed and to be getting off to fucking WWE, WWF wrestling. What a time.
And on that note, let's take another ad from Dentite. Dentite. Are your teeth loose? Glue them back in with Dentite.
Now, is Dentite a toothpaste? Is it a teeth glue? Is it dentures?
It's more of an all-purpose.
I'm concerned and confused.
Product.
Okay, so anybody who needs anything oral, it's Dentite. And naturally, that would run... Right. And naturally, that would run following WWE.
Dentite. Anything oral.
For all your oral needs. Cue the Girls Gone Wild commercial following. I think that man is in jail still.
The Girls Gone Wild guy? They got him? We got him.
I think his name is Joe Francis. Yeah, Joe Francis. I think he's in jail. I think Joe Francis is still in jail.
Talk about an entire enterprise built on the most heinous thing. It's like, what if we exploited underage women?
Oh my God.
Oh, he looks terrible. Yeah, wow. This man's face. He looks like a
Oh
predator.
my God. I used to get him and Joe Rogan mixed up. And that still tracks for me to this day. If you go back and watch old episodes of Fear Factor where Joe Rogan was the host, he used to stand so oddly close to those people. And he was very creepy. He was very in their face and rubbing their backs and doing weird shit. And yeah, so him and Joe Francis were the same person to me when I was a child.
Wow, I'm looking at an image of Joe Francis. So it's a headline from the New York Post that says Joe Francis arrested on domestic violence charges last year. I don't know what the year is this from. This is from 2021. Oh, this is from this year. And the image they use is a picture of Joe Francis with, this must be circa 2008. 2008, Khloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, and Kourtney Kardashian at a Girls Gone Wild event. And they're posing on a red carpet. And they all look like...
I'm looking at it. Oh my God, I found it. Oh my God. They were the girls who had gone wild.
The way that they've resuscitated their brand. Because this was how they were,
It's crazy.
They were
originally like thought of and seen as.
Snooki adjacent is how I used to think of them. You know what I mean?
They were, yes.
And they vampired
Wow.
Kanye Omari West to like resuscitate themselves, you know? And, you know, and I forgot I'm talking to a Kanye stan.
And did.
He got the short end of the stick, man. He really got Rick Rolls. I'm sorry for your boy. But now you know he's on Jink Champs.
Wow, I hate that for him. I do hate that for him. Oh my God, just going on for fucking hours, just drunk and irritating. Just be quiet sometimes. We love that. But yeah, now
I like the part where talking about Kanye's interview on Drink Champs, another podcast. You know, it's our rival, so I don't like talking about it too much. But the part where he talks about he makes fun of Big Sean and John Legend. Did you get to that part of the interview? It was so funny.
I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched that clip.
It was cracking me up. He was just being. That was when I was like, wow, he's actually funny. Because he at one point, I don't know if you saw this. He just like he talked about John Legend, how he hates John Legend. He thinks it's a show for the Democrats. 10 minutes later, they're not even talking about John Legend anymore. He just goes, ordinary people. And they're like, what? He's like, oh, sorry, John Legend's voice is just in my head. And it just was so funny.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I digress. Poor Kanye, the Kardashians, Joe Francis. It's a whole mess.
Yeah, obviously all in the same realm. It's a whole mess. And now the Kardashians are alleged to have taken their butt implants out, or are alleged to are getting liposuction to like make their butts smaller, and their butts are appearing smaller. And people are saying it's the end of the BBL era.
My gosh.
And you know, they're rebranding as white now. And as we see, Courtney is now BFFs with Megan Fox, and Machine Gun Kelly with her white boyfriend Travis Barker. You know, the whole rebrand is really looking like it's happening for real.
They said we off black. We're done with it.
We're done with that. You know, we're gonna go back to being off white again. We're tired of that black shit.
That's so wild. They're like a new iOS just dropped. They're like, no more black. It's time for Caucasoid.
100%. No, they literally. Caucasoid Nation is back. The cocks have returned. We are cock destroyers, baby. We are back. Have you ever heard of the cock destroyers?
What is that? I hate when you start saying that word.
I hate when you start saying that word. Oh my God. How does it come up every episode? I really just want to know. But the cock destroyers are these two porn stars. I think they might have died now.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Literally, what are you talking about?
There are these two. I think they're like twins or sisters or something. Really, they have like huge oversized tits, huge oversized lips, like bleach blonde hair, tan skin, and like Jordan's about to look them up right now. He's about to be sick. But the cock destroyers
Paper Magazine, May 6th,
are those bitches.
The cock destroyers have parted ways. What a headline.
My stomach hurts.
I can't believe this is real. They're British. And they're British.
They're British. And they're like, we're the cock destroyers. And we're going to destroy your cock. And that's just... that's how they are. Oh, they're so funny. They're so funny. But yeah, that used to be the Kardashians, essentially. The Kardashians were trying to be cock destroyers so bad. It was... This is a fan. My mom listens to this, bro. Why are you talking about the cock destroyers on the podcast? Yeah. Oh my God, my stomach hurts. That was funny to me. But yeah, that's it, y'all. That's it. Because the WWE took us to cock destroyers. And I mean, if you really think about it, the road from WWE to cock destroyer is pretty linear, but we took a couple detours to get there. We didn't take the most linear road, but it is a kind of linear road.
It's a kind of linear. You're right. If you think about it, just you keep going, you'll end up there. You'll
end up at the cock destroyers easily. Like, yeah. that's all that I had. Do you have anything additional that you would like to say, Jordan, to the people?
I don't want to add anything because I'm afraid. I'm scared. Is what it is. I
Yeah.
don't want to go any
Yeah,
further
no,
because
I
I'm
understand
scared.
that. It's scary. It's scary times out here. No, I do understand. The cock destroyers are splitting up. The Kardashians taking their ass out. It's just who really knows what's going on in
Like where
2021?
do we look for stability? You know what I mean? Like what?
Because where can I find it? Quickly.
Right.
Joe Biden going to sleep to get a colonoscopy. Kamala Harris, our president, she didn't, she didn't get rid of my student loans or nothing like that. And I'm just confused.
I know she had a few hours to do, to do whatever she had to do, and she did nothing. She chilled.
She did nothing. And then this nigga waking up and immediately talking about he agreed with the Rittenhouse, Richardson, whatever the fuck that man's name is, verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just too much. There's too much going on in the planet right now. I need more stability than this planet seems to have available at this point. It's very volatile. It's an odd time. Pray for us, the world. And come rescue us, please, soon. We're ready. Thank you.
In the meantime, go listen to that new Adele.
In the meantime, go listen to that new Adele. In the meantime, go ahead and rate this podcast on Apple Podcasts if you can. And also on Spotify, there's a new option to turn on push notifications for the podcast. Go ahead and cut them on. If you have Spotify, you listening on Spotify, go ahead and cut on them push notifications so you know when the podcast is up. Go ahead and listen to it there. And if you listen on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, go ahead and rate us 5 stars only. That's all we do around here. 5-star bitch, as Nicki Minaj said, and Trina. And yeah, that's all that I have to say. Follow us on social media at Black People Love Paramore Pod. Nope, that's not even it. Just kidding. Follow us on social media at BPOP Pod. And you can email us at blackpeopleloveparamore@gmail.com if you want. Oh, I have one more thing. Oh my God, I'm so glad I thought about this before I left because I was about to hurt feelings. Hold on. Give me 1 second. We'll do this quickly. We'll do this real quick. I have it. We had a question come in. You ready? It says, "Hi, Jordan and Sequoia. I just binged your podcast while I was at work and y'all are hilarious. I just wanted to know your thoughts on holiday shopping, getting gifts last minute for the people you don't really know and the ones that don't want anything, etc., etc. Also, Sequoia, your food takes make me furrow my eyebrow. And Jordan, I'm glad you're there. Hope all is well. Take care."
Oh wow. Here's somebody with sense, a bit of sense.
Somebody with sense, a little bit of sense.
What was the question? What was the question about getting holiday gifts? Getting gifts for people?
How do we feel about getting people gifts that we don't know well? And how do we feel about getting gifts for people who don't want anything?
All right. For people you don't know well, just don't get them a gift. Shake their hand when you see them. Be like, hey, hi. Give them a nice warm hug. And keep that stocking empty, is my opinion.
That's fair. If you're doing like a white elephant situation or something, or a Secret Santa situation or something, and you got to get somebody something, you don't know that motherfucker like that, get them maybe like a card or maybe like bake a cookie and just leave it at that. So it's $5 maximum. Run them something generic, something cute, and keep it pushing. That's all.
A card and a cookie are nice, because like a cookie. No one's saying no to a cookie. You know what I mean?
No one's gonna say no to a cookie.
No one's gonna feeling bad about a cookie
unless you're a cat owner. In which case, I don't trust the cookie that you made because it's gonna have cat hair in it. But otherwise, I'm gonna eat a cookie and it's gonna be good. So yeah, that's our thoughts on it. But yeah, we'll return closer to holidays with some more holiday related things for you all. And yeah, that's it for this episode.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
Have a good Thanksgiving. Bye, friends.